you, sir, were in one of the greatest BJJ matches of all time with Rickson in 1986. And when you know the details surrounding, I mean, I've studied the details before that, watching that, it's incredible.
Actually, it's kind of cool because I have to go to Brazil in November. They're going to put my name on the street, a star, they call the star on the street, because now they have a park called the Grace Park, and have the street of martial arts and fighters. And I'm going to get my star on the ground.
Wow.
The mayor is going to give to me, and I have to go over there. They put a star, like same like a Hollywood star here. They're going to give my star in Brazil to the collaboration on the sport and be a good ambassador and a good. It's not only that, but I'm gonna get award from the same organization who put me to fight the Rickson. They want to give me award for me, one for Hicks, the fight of the century on the sport, because one of the most famous fight because you're not supposed to fight each other.
Yeah, I know the details. Yeah. It's crazy.
He was my coach.
Yeah, and you tried to slam him on his head, and you went like 100%. It was like when you know the details of that, it's way more interesting when you watch that match.
It's like this. You a fighter. You know, like when you step on the ring, it's business.
Yes, sir.
And remember, on the beginning, I tried push myself out. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't want to fight my cousin Rickson because so much respect, and he was one of my idol growing up. And to fight him, I have to be pushed to the corner. Like people have to really push me to go fight. My philosophy, I said, man, I step on the ring, is business, is fighting. I'm gonna change my mode, and we realized after a while he didn't want to fight either in the beginning. I didn't want to fight because it don't make sense. I said, boy, Higgins, my boy, Rickson, we have so much respect for each other. He was my coach. I was 17 at the time. But my philosophy like this: you step in the ring, you have to create a block. You come to kill, and that's what I did. I didn't want to look at him as a cousin. I want to look at him as a competitor, and I gave my best. I took him down. I passed his guard. I went to attack. The reason people like the fight, because both forget about points. We're gonna try to meet each other, and we come for the kill. And when you see a fight like that between two at the time, best at the time, there was amazing, because probably the gymnasium have close to 4,000, maybe 5,000 people watching national TV, and was considered at the time the biggest event in the country. And to I remember, like I couldn't hear a pin drop. Was everybody so quiet? It sounded like when I start taking Rickson down, the whole gymnasium was making noise like I never heard before. Looked like you watch a soccer game. And people have standing ovation, clap. The fight was a war. And it's not about winning or lose for me. For me, I gave my best at the time. I learned so much because I have a little lack of strategy. Rickson, he survived all my attacks. I gave every gas I have on the tank. When he started coming back, my gas was a little bit lower, and he had a chance to come after me and win the fight. And for me, I learned so much, because my next fights, I destroyed my opponents, and I completely dominate the sport. And Rickson start switch to do more MMA, the sport jiu-jitsu. I was able to dominate for a while. For the next 3-4 years, I dominated the sport. After this, I came to America, and we end up work together again. That was super cool. Rickson for me was a pleasure. Today we talk about another day. We sit down, have a coffee, talking about the fight. He said, Rigan, I got so much respect because that's what a warrior is. You come, you give 100%, and I gave 100%. We kind of talking about how amazing was the fight,
Yeah.
because is that's what I love. I love to go to a war zone, to go in the ring and say, "Hey, and I come to win." The other guy, you look to him the same intent to want to take your head off, and
Yeah.
you guys go to war and you beat him is a big pleasure. That's what I was addicted. I believe the reason I have 365 fights winning, because I didn't care about much medal, victory. I want to beat, I want to win, I want to
Yeah.
get the pleasure. And my coach just hold me back. Wait. He said, "Coach, put me to fight the big guy in the open class. Put me to fight that guy." And my coach, okay, he let it go. And I think what made me a good fighter, I put two things. I put hours on the mat. I train 6 hours a day, 3 sections a day, and I compete every weekend.
Yeah.
And I think the number of competition, you get so sharp, point wise, strategic wise, mental. I come to a point I already step on the mat. I know I'm gonna beat the guy just to look at him,
Yeah.
and that kind of feeling is amazing, because I look at the guy. I said, I give like 3 minutes this fight in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but the best fights for me when they look to the other side in the ring, and I see the guy put the same time, the same effort. He wanna come after me. He wanna take my spot. And that is the best fights. That's the fights I love to have. You know what I mean?
That's
Real